If you're trying to get anywhere from 2,000 up to 10,000, I'm going to show you a few companies that may be able to help you. Plus, I got a secret strategy that some of you all may can benefit from in order to help you get more money in your pocket. Now, in terms of trying to get funding, one of the things about it that I found that people really love is DCU. And the reason that they like DCU is because they actually give you a $2,000 loan with no credit check and bad credit, right? This is why they like them. No credit check, bad credit. The thing about it, you do have to be with them for at least 90 days or longer. 90 days or longer in order to get this. But at the same time, they will help you out. So for those of you that have ever used DCU and you used this loan, put a comment below. Let me know, did you wait the 90 days or did you have to wait 6 months? Help me out. So that way the rest of the people are aware of it. Now, there's another institution that will give you up to $2,000 loan with bad credit and no credit check. And that's Financial Credit Union. That's right. They give you $2,000. And again, the same process. You have to be with them for at least 90 days. All right. So just keep that in mind. With a lot of credit unions, like they have the Cash Please. All right. It's called the Cash Please with a lot of credit unions. But sometimes they may go anywhere from $300 up to $2,500. It just depends. Right. But at the same time these are the type of loans you're looking for because you don't have to have good credit, all right? You just have to be a member with them for a certain amount of time, all right? Now, let's switch gears because what's happening is that a lot of people are starting to become aware of a different tribal loan. So a tribal loan, let me explain this. A tribal loan is where you go to the casino and you lose your money at the casino on their Indian reservation. What they do, they take that money and they reloan it out, all right? Now, these are short-term loans. They are predatory loans because of the interest rate. Now, the reason that people get these loans is because it's much easier to qualify because it's not about your debt-to-income ratio. They don't report to the credit bureau. They don't put a hard pull on the credit, all right? Now, here's the thing about it. What they do in reference to most people, and please understand with tribal loans, they're not in all 50 states, all right? With most people, what it is they use third-party credit bureaus. So they may use Clarity, all right? Clarity is owned by Experian. They may use Factor Trust, okay? And Factor Trust is owned by TransUnion, all right? Or they may use Data X, okay? Now, Data X is owned by Equifax, all right? So they may use one of these. Now, sometimes they may even use LexisNexis, all right? Now, most of the time with the tribal lenders, they're going to stick with this here, all right? Now, other lenders like Upgrade and stuff like that, they may use LexisNexis or SageStream and stuff like that. So if you try to apply with them, you may get denied. And I'll make a more longer video explaining about Upgrade and Upstart. But at the same time, just so that you know, when you with a tribal lender, it's money that's coming from the casinos you lost on their reservation, and they set these up. And they are not in all states. Now, here's the thing about it. They have Explore Credit, okay? So with Explore Credit, they offer up to, I think Explore Credit is up to $2,000 as well. Again, because you're not looking at a hard pull on the credit. Now, here's the thing about it. You do have to understand about this here type of lender. You do have to have a active checking account. They're not going to work with you if you just have a loaded debit card or something like that. You have to have an active checking account with income. Now, can you be on welfare, disability? Absolutely. Okay? Absolutely. You can be on there. Will this loan report to your personal credit? More likely not. So you don't have to worry about it reporting to your credit. But the thing about it is, in order for, like, they may start you out at a low limit, but if you want more money, then, and you come back, you have to make sure you make your payments on time. All right. So that's the thing about it. Now, here's another thing you have to understand. For most of these lenders, like I said, active bank account, active email, active phone number. So those are very important if you're trying to get these here type of loans. Now, the next one we're going to be talking about is Rise Credit. Okay. Now, many of you heard me talk about Rise Credit in the past. Now, with Rise Credit, they give you up to $5,000. All right. Now, again, where I was talking about the credit bureaus with Rise Credit, like I said, they may use Clarity, they may use Factor Trust in terms of checking you out. And then if they decide to report the loan for your payments on time, then they're going to report it to Experian and TransUnion to help you rebuild your credit. All right. So that's the thing about it. Now, in terms of, there's another lender. We talked about UpRova. All right. Now with UpRova, again, it's $5,000. All right. Like I said, focusing on loans anywhere from $2,000 up to $10,000 to help you guys. All right. So sometimes you may need just a little money to pay the car insurance, or you may need money to catch up on a few bills, or you may need money to fix your car. You're trying to get some money to do a down payment because you need a new car, right? And you don't qualify with your bank or a credit union and stuff like that. So you would go to places like this in order to help you. All right. Now, here's something that I was going to tell you. If you have a job, okay, if you have a job and you are a W-2 worker, I always tell you, make sure you go to your HR and you file exempt for 3 to 4 months. Now, the reason you want to do that is so that they can stop taking taxes, state and federal taxes, out of your check so you can bring home a bigger check. Now, by you bringing home a bigger check, this would allow you to help catch up on some bills and stuff where you won't have to deal with some of these predatory lenders. Okay? That's the thing about it, so that you can avoid dealing with some of these predatory lenders. That's a strategy that you definitely can take. All right. Now, also, for those of you that may have challenges catching up on your rent and stuff, there's places you actually can go to. All right. So you have Department of Treasury. They have a rental program that you can look into. You have HUD. HUD has a rental program. Department of Housing, they have a rental program that you can look at. So in terms of when you're looking for money to help catch up on your rent, you're not making enough money, or you just lost your job and stuff, you need to check those places out. All right. Now, getting back to these type of loans, you have net credit. Okay. So with net credit, they offer loans up to $10,000. Now, here's the thing about it with net credit that people are confused about. Yes, it is a soft pull when you apply to deal with pre-approval. However, when you actually do apply for that loan, okay, and you accept the terms of that loan, they may do a hard pull on your credit. Okay, so there's a difference. All right. Again, let me say this. Soft pull, you won't get the hard inquiry. If you accept the terms of the loan is when you get the hard inquiry. All right. Now, here's another one. Do any of you guys have a car with equity in it? Okay. So if you have a car with equity in it, then you can go over to Yendo. Okay, and I'll put a link below for it. All right, so with Yendo, here's the thing about it. Like, they loan up to $10,000. So if you have equity in the car, then you may be able to get a loan from them. All right. And here's the thing about it. They're not looking at your personal credit. They're just looking at the equity in the car. So you may find somebody that's selling a car on Craigslist, and you may be able to buy that car getting one of these loans. You may get one of these here loans for about $5,000, and you may be able to buy a car for $3,000. However, you know the market value of that car is like $7,000. Then you can take the title of that car loan over to Yendo because you own it and you know it has equity. Because a lot of people, well, I tried to work with them and they wouldn't work with me or whatever. And again, asking, are you in one of those states that they actually offer loans in? You know, so it's a process, it's a process in terms of making sure that you have the right paperwork. There's another lender, all right, Opportune. So Opportune offers $10,000 loans, right? Now again, they're not in all states, but the difference with Opportune versus these other lenders is that Opportune is a CDFI. So what that means to you, goodness gracious, it's hot out here, guys. What that means to you basically is that it's a community development financial institute, meaning that these type of lenders are focused on where underserved communities where people can't get a loan. Okay, and so they loans usually go, like I said, from $300 up to $10,000, and you can actually get this loan even if you don't have a social. All right, so that's the thing about it with Opportune. Yes, again, the interest rates is going to be higher, but at the same time, if you're not able to go to your bank or your credit union because your debt to income ratio may be too high. Again, I have seen people with 800 credit scores, but because their debt to income ratio is over that 55% threshold, then the bank and credit unions will not work with them. Now, in terms of who works with you if for the credit union that you can possibly approach, if you have a good credit score, but your debt to income ratio is around 60%, then that would be like PenFed, all right? So that's probably one of the more flexible ones. But at the same time, when you even have a good credit score and you still can't go to a lender and stuff, then you may have to consider these type of lenders in order to get a loan. Post-Lake Lending, okay? Now, with Post-Lake Lending, again, is one of those lenders, 5,000. Offers up to 5,000. So again, it's just another one. They're not in all 50 states. Post-Lake Lending, Alabama, Arkansas, Connecticut, DC, Georgia, Illinois. You know, if you're in one of those states, then they cannot help you. All right. So that's the thing about it with a lot of these lenders, because they're not in every state. So when you go to apply for them, then you may not qualify because it's not because you don't have the income. It's not because of the credit score. It's just maybe because you're not in the state that they actually have a license to issue loans to. All right, that's so important for you guys to understand. Now, if you have any other questions about business credit funding, if you're getting any value out of this video, please put a comment, get a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that bell. Now, here's the thing about it when hitting that bell that most people don't know. When you hit that bell for notification to get my videos, when you hit the bell, there's going to be a drop down. Now, with the drop down, if you have to hit the all. If you don't hit the all, then you won't get my notifications as I send out videos and stuff. And for those of you that are participating in the community section where I'm asking questions and you're giving your opinion, I do appreciate that. I wish more people get involved so that way I can have an idea of what do you all expect from a lender? How can I help you with a lender? Or you can click the link in the description to schedule a one-on-one consultation. So I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.